and let me go to a British figure, Jeremy Corbyn, and talk about that period, because it does seem to me important to understand what was going on there. Who went from your classic red, not red paradigm into a oppressor-oppressed paradigm quite easily, and obviously a man who got things horribly wrong in the Cold War. I mean, you're defending Cuba, defending Nicaragua, defending the Soviet Union, defending the Eastern Bloc. I mean, we have currently Angela Davis is now a great hero of the American left. This woman was celebrating the killing of people trying to flee East Germany, got an award, a medal from the East German heads. Just a staggeringly misplaced loyalty. And you've only got to read Orwell in the 40s and read his excoriation of left-wing intellectuals and how they don't see what's in front of their fucking nose sometimes, for all sorts of good reasons on their behalf. Tell us about how, and my view, of course, is that if you have this core critical theory view, which is the world is oppressed by a group of people who are defined by their race, they have a kind of group interest that is exploiting and destroying the lives of others. They like oppressing others. You don't often see what's going on. It's a conspiracy, white supremacy. In fact, white supremacy still exists. It fits so easily into the anti-Semitic paradigm, which is, again, you have this group of people who are very wealthy and very successful, who are sort of white, who have a conspiracy that's involved in hurting and creating oppression for other people. It's almost tailor-made to be just switched into the anti-Semitism front. Tell me how that actually happens in reality, because the right has a horrible history of anti-Semitism, and let's just say that up front. We're not here pretending the left has a monopoly on this stuff. No, obviously, quite obviously, the right has a world historical claim to anti-Semitism in a way that nothing else can really muster. But there's a way in which this stuff kind of comes out and just sort of slips out from under the curtain. It's a very mysterious thing. In your experience in the Labour Party and in Labour Party politics, and indeed in liberal journalism, explain to me how you first saw this coming about, what you thought were its reasons, and what did it lead to?
Firstly, you're absolutely right to say that not just the right have the world historical claim on anti-Semitism, but still, even now in our world now, the violent attacks, the shooting up of Pittsburgh Tree of Life Synagogue and so on, they're perpetrated by figures who identify with and are steeped in the language of the right. That's where the lethal threat to Jews and Jewish communities is still. So we should say that.
In the US?
In the US, and I would say...
You have a slight Islamist...
Well, there's that.
To it in Europe.
There is, but and that's true. There's been some perpetrators drawn from there. But even here, some of the attacks in synagogues in Germany and so on have come from the white right, for want of a better phrase. That doesn't undermine the salience of the issue that you're raising of left anti-Semitism. On the contrary, left anti-Semitism sort of hurt so much for Jews because it was unexpected, because it was a betrayal. In other words, Jews knew to be vigilant and prepared and ready for the threat from the right. That's deeply embedded in the folk memory of Jews. Jews know how to sort of they can detect the first rustling of the leaves that tell you that storm is coming on the right. But built into that was an assumption that therefore the left, liberal opinion, they'll be our protectors, our allies, our friends. And so when anti-Semitism comes from that sector, there's a shock and a disappointment, even a heartbreak. And that's why I think it gets so much more attention.